thank you so much for your time this evening. You know, the President mentioned yes in his Youth Day speech today. Let's just have a quick listen before we chat.
Another successful program that is continuing to create work opportunities for young black South Africans is the Youth Employment Service known as YES. With the support of corporate partners, it has created 55,000 work experiences since its inception, injecting 3.1 billion rand in youth salaries back into the economy. In the coming year, this YES program aims to double this to 100,000 quality work experiences.
All right, so that's quite a nice shout-out from the President today. Just remind us how YES works. You've been going since sort of 2018, 2019, how you work, where you work, and what you would say your biggest successes are so far.
Thank you. So YES works on the corporate side of things. We believe that jobs are created by the private sector, and so we work very hard to get our private sector partners to open new work opportunities for young people. In return, as a benefit, we've worked with the DTIC to have an incentive on the BEE scorecard. So when these companies, and we've got 1,580 corporate sign-ups, when these partners sign up and open these job opportunities, they get 1 or 2 levels up on the BEE scorecard. And BEE is really good business practice today. It's very difficult to remain competitive if you don't have a good BEE score. By doing this with our corporate partners, and we've got partners coming back now for year 3, year 4, we've been able to create 55,000 work experience. In fact, our number's over 55,000 today, 55,438. And you saw the President mention that this means 3.1 billion in salaries going straight into youth wallets from the private sector via the YES platform. So in 127 weeks, we've had pretty good impact. If you consider the state of the economy, when business confidence is low, you can imagine it's very difficult to get companies to commit to opening up their payroll and bringing youth on board. But through clever policy designs like this and crafted strategies, it is possible to make work opportunities happen despite the prevailing economic environment.
So work experience is a great thing, but it doesn't mean a permanent job. And I think you've said previously what you call the absorption rate is about 40%. So about 40% of those work experiences end up becoming a permanent job for someone. But I think that work experience it does a very important thing in that it opens the door, and this is something Marie Harris was talking about, is that the door needs to be open for young people, particularly young people who have not had any experience or who don't have any network or any prior connections to the world of work. Talk to me about how that world experience changes a young person's view and perhaps invigorates them to take a chance to try something different.
So, Sally, you used the word network earlier, which really is hitting the nail on the head. Many of our youth are completely marginalized from the labor market. They don't have the networks. Many grow up in homes where there's no working parent. So they don't have the networks. And we see from the research that your network is a very important element in being able to connect into jobs. So by giving youth this 1-year work opportunity, yes, we've got about a 40% absorption rate after the YES experience. We would love for 100% of youth to get into jobs. Of course, post-COVID, this is a little bit difficult. Many jobs have been lost. But once we get a youth into that work experience, research tells us they access networks. We're building with our youth digital networks, online presence. We get them a CV and a reference letter. Just a CV and a reference letter for a young woman doubles the likelihood of a job within 3 months of job search. So these are powerful markers to employers that the young person has got experience, they've been de-risked, and it gives them a sense of credibility and comfort to be able to take that youth into their business. So whilst, yes, it's an NGO, we cannot possibly be responsible for getting 7 million youth into jobs, but what we can do is open the door to thousands and thousands of youth, and the ones who really thrive and shine in that 1-year work opportunity generally will get absorbed, but we've given them the chance to show what they can do. And in many cases, our country is losing out on this tremendous potential that we see sitting in young people who never get that chance to shine and show you exactly all these skills and potentials that they have.
One of the things the President said today, which some might find a little controversial, he had a lot of praise for young people and he said they needed support, but he also said young people have kind of got to do it for themselves and work hard. As someone who works with young people all the time, do you really think that not working hard is one of the problems?
It's about workplace attitude. So if you are lucky enough to get into a job, we've done a survey with employers, hiring managers, and workplace attitude is really important for employers to see. If they see a young person really committing themselves, showing traits of the right growth mindset attitudes, which means even if I can't do it today, I'm determined to show you that I can learn these skills, I can get better. So employers are very willing to teach technical skills, but what they can't teach or find difficult to teach is, do you have the right attitude to learn? And so I think this is an important thing to put out there with young people. Jobs are scarce. When you do get the privilege to have a job, you do need to put the hard yards in. I think the second thing the President is alluding to is we simply have an economy that doesn't have enough job openings for the numbers of young people that are looking for employment. We've got close to 1 million young people entering the labor force each year, 56% of whom or thereabouts don't have a matric certificate. It's going to be important for young people to not expect that a job is going to be waiting, but to really hustle in an entrepreneurial fashion with jobs that, where they can use some sort of skill set and try to create an opportunity for themselves, even if it's not a SIPC registered business. Can you find some side hustle that you can earn an income with? Because quite simply, South Africa doesn't have an economy that has created lots of openings for lower skilled level youth. There's also a lot of opportunity these days to skill yourself up through micro-credentials. You can get these online, you can get these through small schools, and you stack these micro-credentials and build yourself some kind of qualification, a credibility that you can put on that CV and reference letter. We're also encouraging you to go out and volunteer. If you can't get a job, just make sure you're active and you're not out of that job market, because employers are going to look at any sort of experience on your CV and reference letter. So I think what it's speaking to is the attitude of hard work and the attitude of learning, and also being willing to take whatever jobs you can create or volunteer for in your community.
All right. Well, thank you so much for chatting to us. And I would imagine that work experience is what helps create the right attitude. It's what teaches young people who might really not know what it is to be in a corporate environment where they can learn those skills. And thank you very much for chatting to us this evening. That was Dr. Tashmia Ismail-Saville, CEO of, yes, the Youth Employment Service.